So this is just a short video that can explain the work that we were trying to do with analyzing this chart about renewable and non-renewable resources and the energy that is used in the United States according to each one of those types of resources. So instead of going over it as a class, this is just something that you can watch individually and hopefully maybe refer back to also before Iowa assessment. So I think one thing I learned, because people were getting some of these first questions wrong, is that I think maybe there are some people that don't understand this is a type of graph, but when it's in the shape of like a circle, it's called a pie chart or a pie graph. And the entire circle equals 100%. So these are percentages instead of other types of numbers like our small town teens with cell phones where they were just counting a regular number. So these are percentages. So the whole pie or the whole circle, however many parts it's divided up into, they should always equal 100%. So I think some people just maybe didn't know that. So the first question is, what was the largest source of energy used in the U.S.? Well, it was petroleum because that's 37%. Natural gas was 29, coal was 15, nuclear was 9, and renewable resources, which are these 5 things over here, all 5 of these fall into this category. The largest piece of that pie, so to speak, was petroleum at 37%. So most people got that right. The second question, what percentage of energy used in the U.S. is produced from fossil fuels? Well, I had it up on the board that petroleum, natural gas, coal, and nuclear energy are all considered to be fossil fuels because we could run out of those. And if you add all of those up, you're going to get 90%. Now, one thing that people did was they said, well, if they understood that this whole thing was 100 and renewable energy was 10, then they took 100 minus 10 and they came up with the 90. So some people didn't understand that question. All right. This next one, it says, how does the renewable energy use of the state of California compare with that of the entire U.S.? Support your answer with evidence from the article. Well, if you look up here, the title of the chart is Energy Use in the U.S. So the United States uses about only 10% of its energy comes from renewable resources, right? Things that we are not going to run out of. So the U.S. has 10% renewable energy. And in the article, it said that California in 2017 was getting 47% of their energy from renewable resources. Some people had down that it was 100%, but that is their goal. 100% of its energy from more environmentally friendly resources by 2045. So that is their goal, but hey, they're halfway there. So people were not answering the question as far as comparing California to the United States. Okay. Number 4 was a little bit more difficult. So these, you can tell, this kind of goes from easy to hard. It says, describe at least 2 factors that you think may affect which sources of energy are used in different areas of the United States. Well, I think we talked about this in class, or I tried to mention it, that, the climate plays a role. That's a factor. Warmer weather, you're probably going to have more sunshine, and that's probably where there's going to be more solar panels installed, and where solar energy is going to be more popular is in a climate that's warmer. So that could be one factor, and I kind of explained myself. Another one, we talked about the wind turbines. They take up a lot of room, and you need a lot of open spaces. That's why you see so many of them around Iowa and around Marshall County in big cornfields. The farmers had to sell their land so that people could come in and put in these wind turbines. So if there's some place like a rural state like Iowa, open space, the wind turbines are going to take up a lot of room, but that might be a logical place for wind energy to occur, places with open space. Hydroelectric, hydro means water, and that was the whole article about the Hoover Dam was, damming up a river and letting it overflow the dam so that you can make hydroelectricity. So maybe some place where there are rivers that can be dammed up would be a logical place for there to be hydroelectric energy. So I think that people were just totally confused by that question, but that's one of the lessons learned here, is that you really do have to read the question, and if you don't understand the question, certainly on something practice like this, you need to ask for help. Okay, so that's just kind of what your answers should have looked like. I put it in the grade book. If how many you got right. If you didn't complete it, then that kind of hurt your score, but it is in the practice category. So please, if you have any questions, let me know.